Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Sheff United Way YouTube channel. Now, today we're going to be talking about another preview to the QPR match. It's happening at 7:45 p.m. at beautiful downtown Bramall Lane tomorrow night on Tuesday, under the lights, as everyone loves to say. If you can't make the game, it's also on Sky Sports Red Button. That is your friend for this game. On the Stoke preview, I said how much I had missed the domestic game. And then me and Hal went to the Bet365 Stadium and watched Sheffield United play professional football. Not my finest 90 minutes of watching Sheffield United, I must admit. I should have kept my mouth shut. Anyway, members, you're going to see right now on screen, we've had a few more as well, which is excellent. So thank you very much for everybody who is a member. It's £4.99 to support the lads. And yeah, you'll have your name at the bottom of the screen, and you'll also get preferential videos. It's grade A content, so get yourself on it. No, it's absolutely fantastic, everybody, for supporting us. We really, really do appreciate it. Also, Sheff United Way clips, as I always bang on about. There's loads and loads of clips from previous podcasts that we've done. So I've just clipped loads and loads of beast stuff. So that's what you've got coming up. So make sure you go over there and subscribe to Sheff United Way clips. Anyway, good evening.
Good evening.
Do you know where that's from?
No, I haven't got a clue. I thought, why are we doing this? But I'm not going to question it. I'm just going to go straight into old man voice.
No, I'm going to tell you. I listened to the Tufty Club podcast today.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how Deadbat started it, yeah. Good evening.
You've aged him by about 20 years, which I feel is the very least that we can do, because on that episode of Tufty Club, which I highly recommend you listen to, I get absolutely savaged.
You do, and I did message you and said, they said something about you wearing tight trousers, and it was me that was wearing the tight. I love a pair of tight trousers.
You were practically wearing leather trousers, mate. I mean, they were that tight. There was nothing left to the imagination. And given we now realise the kind of clientele of our fan base, Nick, I think it's a bad choice.
Possibly.
It was great, can I just say, to meet so many of you at Stoke that made the effort to come over and say nice things, and those that came over and didn't say nice things, you're also cool too. So lovely to meet each and every one of you.
The amount of people that said, have you got your marmalade sandwiches, Hal?
It's a big talking point. The players are talking about my sandwiches, and one other very important person as well we now know.
Go on.
You were going to say it.
No.
It went
better in rehearsals. I'll let you do it.
Yeah, I mean, even the hierarchy at Sheffield United are apparently interested in what is in Hal Stewart's away day sandwiches, which didn't feature on our vlog. If you haven't watched the Stoke City vlog, Duck, it's far better than the game. Please don't let the fact that the match was awful put you off. Check those vlogs out, because they're mildly entertaining.
Yeah, you'll see me doing this.
You will.
I've watched myself do that loads and loads of times because, and what I'm going to say, Hal, before we get into this match preview, on TikTok, we are now famous.
Go on.
We are now super duper famous. We're on about 20,000 views on that Reece Norrington-Davis non-penalty.
Yeah, and it's done 22k views on Twitter.
Has it? I don't even know.
Yeah, I was looking at that earlier. Yeah, that's just from my phone. That's 42,000 views. Quick maths.
It's a great phone, though.
It is. It's really good camera, isn't it? I sent it to a referee friend of mine, the actual penalty, Chris Williams, shout out, and said, "Is this a penalty?" And he said, "What have you filmed that on? It's absolutely terrible quality." What are you talking about? It's better than like what they filmed ET on. You're talking nonsense, man.
So what did he say? Was it a penalty?
Yeah, he said it was actually his terrible 4G where he was, and when he got home and watched it on Wi-Fi, he said it was quality. Yeah, so yeah. Issued an apology, but yeah, a definite penalty, and that is from a referee who referees at and I'll go as far as to say this, semi-pro level.
Ooh, I think the biggest idiot in the world can see that is a penalty all day long, and a stone wall penalty.
Yeah, Stonewall. That's Nick's opinion on the refereeing performance at Stoke. But yeah, do check out the vlog, and hopefully we'll see more of you at the next few games. Thanks very much.
Exactly, and it sounded like we were going to go then, and bye-bye.
We don't want to talk about the Stoke game, so thanks for watching.
No, not really. But I will talk about it anyway, Hal. So what I'm just going to quickly say, I don't really want to talk about it for long. I seem to say this every week from now on. But we'll speed through it in super quick time. I did a match reaction on it, and like it all came screaming back to me because the thing was, I was driving home, and because I got home without a hitch, I was in a really, really good mood. Sat down here in this exact place, started talking about the game, relived every horrible moment of it. I won't say horrible because we were rubbish. They were rubbish. They just got lucky with a deflected own goal, really. That being said, they created a lot more chances than we did. We were rubbish. Yeah, I think I'm just going to leave it at that because it's probably just going to put me in an even worse mood if I keep banging on about this game because we were rubbish. Like just creating, we didn't create anything, Hal, did we? We didn't create a sausage.
I had a sausage at the Wetherspoons beforehand. Other public houses are also available. Can I do last time out?
Just do it.
Right. So we have to go back to the 12th of January 2019, a 1-0 Blades win against QPR at Bramall Lane. David McGoldrick, remember him? I know. He scored heading Oliver Norwood's cross past the goalkeeper for QPR, Joe Lumley, who will not be between the sticks this time around. QPR were managed back then by Steve McLaren, and the United starting lineup contained 9 players who were still at the Lane.
Unbelievable, Hal. Unbelievable. You say this every week, and it really, really upsets me, the fact that we aren't getting the performances. Oh, actually, some of them aren't even on the pitch. Some of them are just injured, aren't they?
Yeah, it's a shame. A lot of them actually are injured, but it also goes to show when we talk about this, it's not the case for the opposition that we're playing. They very rarely will have 9 players that are still there from 2018, 2019. In a way, they've come on a long journey with us, and it's great to see.
And you know what? Before the Wilder era, you could probably say that about us. Like 2 years apart, we'd have probably had a massively different team as well.
Big turnaround in the past. You're not wrong.
Yeah. Anyway, let's not talk about Wilder. Let's talk about Sheffield United. Anyway, so let's talk about team news. It doesn't get any better. It really doesn't. Billy Sharp out. No doubt about it. He is completely not playing in this game unless 𝐍𝐸 is playing a massive mind game, which I can't see. It's a massive blow for the Blades to be missing Billy Sharp again. This is the second game in a row that we're going to miss him, and we are going to miss him massively. But it's looking that Ollie McBurney will be available for this game, so he may start. I thought 𝐍𝐸𝐫 was dealt a bad hand in the last game, kind of isolated up front on his own against very experienced centre-back Phil Jagielka, other experienced defenders for Stoke as well. A bit harsh. He didn't have the best of games, but like I say, I think there are things that you can blame for 𝐍𝐸𝐫 maybe not putting in as good a performance as we may have expected. Also, let's talk about Charlie Goode because it's looking like he's probably gone for good because Bournemouth have slowed down his rehab, maybe due to the fact that he's reacted badly to stepping up training. So I can't see him coming back. I think I said this a while ago as well. I said the fact that he's gone back to Bournemouth so late on in the season, I doubt that he would go through all the rehab and stuff like that and then rush him back for us. Like if it's one of our players, we may rush them back to get them playing, but they're not going to be bothered about us trying to get promoted. So I can't see Charlie Goode coming back. That's probably the reason why we've signed Filip Uremovic. He's probably been brought in to replace Charlie Goode, but I really want to see him play football for Sheffield United. So hopefully it's no longer square pegs in round holes because, yeah, Ben Davies seems to be playing a lot of football at right centre-back. And let's be honest, it's always better to have a right-footed player at right centre-back. But, yeah, I thought Ben Davies had quite a good game against Stoke, except for maybe letting the man go in behind him and then score. But other than that, I thought he had a really good game. But yeah, we'll get on to my starting 11 in just a second. The last thing that 𝐍𝐸𝐫 said, we're not going to talk about Jack O'Connell because even 𝐍𝐸𝐫's getting annoyed talking about Jack O'Connell. It's like, we've not got any time frames. Let's just let him get back at his own pace. We know he's been through a lot. let's just stop talking about Jack O'Connell. I think he's absolutely bang on. But Chris Basham, we do want to talk about, and it doesn't look great, does it? Let's be honest. Bash hasn't played football in quite a while, and it doesn't look like he's going to be playing football for at least a few weeks. And we know that we've got a lot of 2 games in a week, so there's not that many weeks of football left to play. And if Basham's not going to be back for the next couple of weeks at least, we're looking like we may not see him for the rest of the season, which is really, really sad to see. I'll bring up my preferred 11 anyway. QPR have not been too good as of late either. So this is a big game for both of us. And I do think it could be a must-win game, really. We're really losing kind of pace on some of the teams that actually got games in hand over us. So here we go. This is my preferred 11. It has changed since hearing that Billy Sharp is not playing in this game, because I did have Billy Sharp up front, but we've got Wes in the net. I've gone for Alemovic at right centre-back. The thing is with Alemovic, he's not match fit, but the only way you become match fit is by playing games. And by all accounts, he's a very, very good defender and hard in the tackle, good at going forward. So let's see him. Let's see him. We've signed him for a reason. John Egan, central centre-back as always. I've gone for Ben Davies at left centre-back. I do think that Jack Robinson had a couple of shaky moments against Stoke. I'd like to see Ben Davies there if Alemovic is going to start. Reece Norrington-Davies, I think he actually had a pretty good game against Stoke for the most part. I would like to see him find some players with his crosses, though, because a lot of our attacks came down the left-hand side. So he had a lot of the ball. I'd just like to see him get the ball in the box and find one of our players. Baldock, I thought he had a very, very... No, not poor. I wouldn't say poor. Not a bit of a shaky start, back to kind of coming back from injury. But he was offside all the bloody time. All game, he was offside. And that was very frustrating to see. Sanderberg and Norwood and Fleck in the midfield. The only player that I can possibly see coming in there is Howrahan if he's preferred to Fleck. But I thought Fleck had a pretty decent game against Stoke. And then we've got Gibbs-White and McBurney up top. Hopefully McBurney will be fit. If not, obviously, it will be Jebo with Will Asula coming off the bench. I actually think that Will Asula looked pretty good coming off the bench. He put himself about. He was getting stuck in, and that's what we want to see. Gibbs-White was apparently ill the night before the Stoke game. I think we could probably see that he wasn't quite himself. But the thing was, he was still our most creative player, and he was ill the night before. So I think that says a lot about some of our players.
Yeah, I think it does. Right, QPR then, the team we're going to be facing. It's Mark Warburton, who's in the hot seat with rumours he could be sacked, despite QPR sitting 9th in the Championship table on 59 points. They're in poor form. QPR fans are restless. They've lost their last 3, lost 5 of the last 6. Andre Gray may come back into the QPR side as a replacement for Lyndon Dykes, although Charlie Austin is also pushing for a recall. Chris Willock is out for the season, one of their star players. Elias Chair can expect to feature in a creative role, while Jeff Hendrick could be restored in midfield, allowing Stefan Johansson to play in an advanced position. Goalkeeper David Marshall out for the season. The other goalkeeper we were rumoured to be interested in, actually, Diang, and the other goalkeeper, Archer, and the other goalkeeper, Walsh, are all out. So 5th choice, Kieran Westwood, the former Owl, will probably start in goal. I've never seen a goalkeeping crisis quite like that. So QPR's possible starting lineup: Westwood, Sanderson, who we were also linked with a few years ago, Dickey, very good player, and Barbe. Then you've got Odebajo, Field, Hendrick, and Wallace, with Johansson, Chair, and up front on his own, Andre Gray. Nick, give me your score prediction for the Blades against Queen's Park Rangers.
Mate, I'm going to go big. I think we've got to go for it. We've got to take it to them from the first whistle. And I think that sometimes when we kind of come off a few bad results, we come out fighting. And I think this could be 2 or 3-0 early on. I'm going to go 3-0.
I'll say the same as the last time we played them at the Lane. 1-0 Blades win. I mean, one thing to take into consideration, there have been 9 games where Sharp has not started this season. And in those 9, we've only scored 5 from other players. Now, Sharp created one of those goals when he came on against Forest. He's also come off the bench and scored in those 9 twice to be exact. So for me, when he's not involved, if you know he's on the bench, like I've just said there, 2 goals and an assist, he can still create. He's not even going to be on the bench this time, and that could be huge. Nick, is this a must win or a must not lose?
It's definitely a must not lose, but I feel like we need to win. Like, I'm not saying it's a must win, but if we want to kind of keep up with the rest, then we've got to win. We've got to win all our home games. And you said, didn't you, that we could win all our home games? And we do seem a completely different side at home. And the fans getting behind them. We've had a lot of good results at night as well, evening kickoffs, late kickoffs. And I think that sometimes the players just take kind of that energy from that game, that Middlesbrough game, that Blackburn game, and they may just kind of put it into this game. So I'm excited, but a little bit wary.
I know what you mean. A win for QPR would put them above the Blades. Now, the referee for this one is Darren Bond from Lancashire. I know you might be saying that. Actually, I'll be amazed if you even remember the last game he took charge of for the Blades. I don't know why this is, but he's only taken charge of 12 games this season in all competitions, issuing 37 yellows, 1 red card. He's given 3 penalties. He hasn't refereed us this season at all. In fact, he hasn't refereed us since 2019 when we drew 1-1 away at Birmingham. 10th of April. Yeah, you might.
I read your tweet. Earlier, and I was trying to remember what it was, and I was like, I do know.
Well, before that, he was in charge of our 2-1 win at home against Norwich back in August 2018. So he hasn't refereed a loss for us going back quite a while, because that's as far back as I went, was 2018, and I couldn't find a loss. So we'll just say he's let's go for it. A referee that hasn't refereed a loss for at least 3 years. Yeah,
that's not very dedicated of you, is it, not to go back further?
You know what? You find 2 games, that's enough. And I didn't see a loss. I was happy. It's a good sign. I saw nothing but bad signs. I told you about this on the way to Stoke. I saw a car pulled out in front of me, and the last 3 letters on the license plate, OWL. And then I went to the service station to use the bathroom, and I sat down on the seat. I didn't look, and it was covered in pee.
Yes.
I had to wash my bum I had to wash my bum in a service station sink. And you know me, you know I'll have done that. That was a bad sign, and I just knew it's going to be a bad day.
I've heard this story so many times, and every time you talk about sitting on 𝐍𝐸, I just don't want to hear it.
It's bad.
It just creeps me out every single time. Anyway, mate, give me your player connection.
Tony Curry has to be the legend that is TC, one of the greatest Sheffield United players of all time. There might, of course, be younger viewers that never saw Tony, don't know a great deal about him, but he is, without doubt, of a certain generation, the greatest Sheffield United player of all time. 1968 to 1976, he played for the Blades, 313 league appearances, 54 goals. Not bad for a midfielder. He played for QPR between 1979 and 1982, 81 league appearances for the Hoops and 5 league goals. Now, of course, still involved with the club in an ambassadorial capacity.
Now, Hal, do you want me to go for someone who's just as influential as Tony Curry?
Good luck.
Luke Freeman, there we go. Freezy Freeman. And actually, I was only joking, but for QPR, he was a very, very good player. They've got nothing but great words to say about Luke Freeman. And I do feel like if he'd have had a little bit more game time in that first season in the Premier League, if it didn't quite work out for us, because that is that we brought him in to play the Duffy role, and it worked so well for us that we never kind of gave him that shot. And then he's just kind of not played many games, and he's just gone backwards in his career. I do feel a little bit sorry for him, but he was given some game time for Slav. Not too much, but he was given some game time. So I hope that next season, when he probably will move on to somebody else, he gets that game time and he does kind of reignite his career. But for the Blades, he's only played 15 games, and I can guarantee that more than half of those will have been off the bench. It says no goals here, but I know that he scored a goal in the League Cup. But QPR, 104 games, 14 goals. It's not prolific, but he is a midfielder after all. But I do know that he'll have got a lot of assists in that. Yeah, a very good player that's kind of lost his way a little bit.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be at Sheffield United next season with his contract run out. They won't offer him a new one, and we never saw the best of him. Fair to play, fair to say from a player. But Tony Curry, I mean, what else? So if you can think of any other player connections, pop them in the comments below. Also, let us know your score predictions.
Yeah, thank you very much for watching, and see you next time.